Hi, welcome. This video will lead us to the demo of access control and data updation for shared data in cloud. Cloud computing is a promising computing paradigm which recently has drawn extensive attention. Secure data sharing is one of the important security challenges. Thus, confidential data hosted in a cloud must be protected. Using a combination of access control and encryption, which offers the benefits of minimum reliance on the cloud service provider. To achieve fine-grained access control and scalable user revocation, existing work combines ciphertext policy, attribute-based encryption, and proxy re-encryption. Later, a time-based proxy re-encryption scheme was proposed to allow a user's access right to expire automatically after a predetermined time period. In all the existing works, only owners are allowed to perform the updates. We extend the time pre scheme to provide write permission to a set of users, so that in case of emergency, when the owner is unavailable, he can let the trusted users to perform the necessary updates. First of all, the user creation is the first thing, because the user is very important for send the request, so that only the user is created. The user is created and then the details of the users are stored to the server. For that, the client sends the details to the server, and then the data owner is also very important, because the data owner have the data. The data owner also send the details to the server, so both the user and the data owner register their details to the server, and then the client send the request to the data owner, that is the DO. The server receives the request and generate the key for them, and then the data owner encrypts the data by the key and then send the data to the server. That is, the data is transferred to the server. The server re-encrypts the data that is received from the data owner. This re-encryption is very strong security. So then the user send the request to the server for accessing the data. At that time, the server receives the request and provide the data to the user. The user receives the data. After that, the user can decrypt the data successfully, but at last the user have a permission checking. If a user have a read permission only, means then the user can't edit the data or modify the data. If the user have write permission, means then the user can modify the data and encrypt it and send it to the server. Let us see the demo of access control and data updation for shared data in cloud. First of all, we have to create a new user. The user IP is automatically provided to the user, and then you have to enter the password for a user and click generate ID. Now the ID is generated and provided. Then select the privilege for the user. Now we select read, so that the client have the read permission only. Now the client have to store the details in the server. For that, we have to run register.java. This is the server. Now press cloud consumer and connection, and then click connection. Now the data is transferred to the server. Now press receive and register. Now the client detail are transferred to the server and press save. Now the data are saved in the server. Likewise, we have to create the data owner. For that, we have to run connection.java. First of all, click properties and then press get, and then the data owner also transfer the data to the server. For that, click storage node and press connection and click connection button. Now press OK and then press receive. Now the details of the data owner is received to the server and press save. Now the data are saved in the server and press key generation. Now the data owner is ready to generate the key, so that the client have to send the request. For that, press request in the client. Now the request is sent to data owner. Now the data owner accept the request and then he generate the master key and then press next. Now press the generate key. Now the secret key is generating and press send. Now the key is transferred to the client. Now the key is received by the client in this form and press next. Now the data owner have to select a data and give the security to the data. For that, we have to select a data. Now select a location for store the data and then press next and then press encryption. Now the data is encrypted, and then the data owner have to set the time limit for the data. That is, the within the time limit only the data is provided in the server. After that, the data is not provided, or the client does not have permission to access the data after the time limit that is specified. So we have to select the hour and then minute and then select seconds. Now the data is ready to transfer to the server. Now go to server and press next. Now you have to click user request and then click the connect to storage node and click receive and press enable data transfer. Now the data is transferred to the server successfully. Now press open. Now the data is encrypted by the data owner and then press next. Now the server is ready to re-encrypt, so that press open and select a file. Now press re-encrypt. Now the data is re-encrypted successfully and then press next. Now the server is ready to get the request from the client. For that, go to client page and then click login. Now enter the user unique ID and then the IP address of the user and enter the password. Now click login. Now the access is granted to the client. Now press the request to server button, so that only the request is sent to the server, and then click get request. The server get the request from user 1 and then the client is ready to receive the file, so that we have to press receive button and then the server is ready to transfer the file, so that press file transfer. Now press OK. Now the client is receiving the data. Now press view. Now the client can have received data and then press next. Then the client can decrypt the data successfully, so that he can view the data. This is the content present in the data received from the server. It is decrypted, and then now the edit permission. Here the client checking whether the client have permission or not. Now press edit permission. You have the message box displayed, that is, you have read permission only. If the client have write permission means, then the client can modify the data and re-encrypt it and transfer it to the server. within the time limit only it is possible. If the time limit is over means, then the user having right permission will also blocked by the server, because the time limit is important in this project. Thanks for watching this video.